Hey, Rich here again. I've got another episode of my Reluctant AI User series, and this one's a little bit harder for me because I take my conference presentations very seriously. So here's the story. I wrote an article, and a little while later, I submitted a talk to several different conferences, an idea for a talk based on this article that I'd written. And I got accepted to give this talk at 2 different conferences. And I know that some people can write conference presentations on the plane on the way to a conference or the night before in their hotel room. I can't do that. I tend to spend hours and hours working on my conference presentation outlines and the individual slides and the speaker notes. These are things that I spend a lot of time on because it's a bit of a craft, and I really want to make sure that I am giving a clear message. I want to make sure that I'm communicating my points. But when I sat down to write this presentation, I got a little bit of writer's block. And a friend said, well, why don't you just put that article into ChatGPT and it will give you your slides. This is where I react kind of negatively to this. I don't think that it's going to do as good a job as me. But with my new mindset of treating this as an intern, an assistant, that's going to give me a first draft, I thought, okay, what's the harm? I'll give it a try. Now, I've done several passes through this. And so the first thing that I want to mention is that you get different answers every time. I have a little video of me doing this, but in reality, I've done it 5 times. And some of the results were really good, and some of them weren't very good. So it's important to remember that not only is it going to make mistakes, it's not going to be perfect, but also it's not deterministic. Each time you're going to get slightly different results. So maybe do it a few times and pick the best. Now, I also want to mention that for me at least, this is just a starting point. I'm going to use this outline to give me an idea of how I want to proceed through the presentation. And some of them gave me different layouts than others. Some of them inserted some nonsense, which is probably a whole other video, this thing where AI hallucinates. But I'm going to set my skepticism aside and use this as the basis for a new presentation. And hopefully in a few weeks, I'll have the video here of that presentation. You can see how well it did. So there we go. My first foray into ChatGPT. I know some of y'all have been using this for years now. This is really the first time that I've used it for real work. And I want to make one final comment here. I see and I hear a lot of people using ChatGPT as a search engine or as an answer bot. They say, tell me about this topic. And I have not yet used it that way. So far, I've been using AI to summarize or gain insight from documents that I already know to be true. So I'm starting from a trusted set of data. And using this as simply a way to come up with brand new content based on who knows what data source out there that I don't know if I trust is still a bridge too far for me. It's going to take me a while to make that leap. So for the moment, I'm going to continue using these tools to summarize and to find insight in data that I know to be true to begin with. And even then, it seems to be injecting some of this information from other sources. So again, thanks for watching. Again, I'm Rich Bowen, and thanks for joining me on this journey.